ホと一つ。
はい。
ホットラテ一つ。
ホットラテ。
はい。
はい。
Lie awake in the morning with a light upon her skin. Coffee cup before the day begins. Don't go, stay a while, and slow it all back down. Time is still and there's nowhere to be. Birds are talking outside, giving space for the words we hold inside. So come on, so stay a while and slow it over back down. Stay a little longer, it's only getting warmer. Slow it down 'cause time can't wait. Hold on to this moment, watch the sunlight pouring. Keep it like a picture frame. So stay a while and don't go, 'cause we got time, we'll slow it over way back. Let's sneak down that lonely lane. Before summer has gone away, swim out under a broken sky.
電車プリーズウィルビーソフィンガーと小倉ただいまでサイドミルオープン
Colored with shades of
本日
white.
自由席ご利用のお客様にお願いいたします
Wave goodbye to that song. Cold air coming away soon. So let's lay under the falling
乗車されま
moon.
してありがとうございますこの電車はかもめご注文
Tell me something about yourself.
Watching you may talk to me. 2名様おなりです。